Cut. Why is Electromagnetic's logo here?
I'm here because Elle is on her appointment with Chestnut and Chespin. Here's the footage.
Sigh, waiting again. Alright, let's write for the L to get back from her appointment and take 2. Cut. This is not Google, this is Google.
Why? Oops.
That's alright, please add a hook and take 3. Cut. The red E. You got it capitalized.
Oops.
You're supposed to be lowercase.
Let's try again.
Alright, take 4. Cut. The logo is missing.
Sorry about that.
Alright, let's wait for the yellow O to get back here and take 5. Cut. The green L is not supposed to have a dot on top.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, please get rid of the dot and take 6. Cut. Why does it say Google?
I'm here again because the lowercase g is at the dance party with Lemmy Koopa now. Here's the footage.
Alright, let's wait for the lowercase g to get back from the party and take 7. Cut. This is not the right background again.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, change the background to white and take 8. Cut. This is not what I had in mind. Wrong background.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, change the background to white this time and take 9. Cut. A blue background. No.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, change the background to white this time and take 10. Mega cut. All of the letters got inflated. Oh no, all of the letters were about to splat with paint. Save yourselves. Ooh, a big aisle. This would protect me. Save yourselves. All of the letters were about to splat with paint. Huh? It didn't splat over me? That's a relief. Huh? Wow, that's such a beautiful picture. Wait till the cublings see this. Take 11. Cut. A silver background. Not quite.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 12. Cut.
Why did you say cut twice?
A bronze background.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 13. Cut.
Why did you say cut thrice?
A gray background. No.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 14. Cut.
Why did you say cut quadris?
A orange background. Not exactly right.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 15. Cut.
Why did you say cut quintus?
A pink background. Nope.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 16. Cut.
Why did you say cut sextus?
A red background. Nah.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 17. Cut.
Why did you say cut septus?
A yellow background. Not quite right.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 18. Cut.
Why did you say cut octus?
A teal background. That's not quite right.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 19. Cut.
Why did you say cut nonus?
An indigo background. No.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 20. Cut.
Why did you say cut dasus?
A cyan background. That's not exactly right.
Sorry about that. Let's take again.
Alright, take 21. Cut. Why is a human spectrum included?
Oops. Sorry. Anyways, the human spectrum can go from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. The higher the frequency, the shorter the wavelength, and the speed was faster. The lower the frequency, the longer the wavelength, and the speed was slower. Below 20 Hz was considered as infrasonic sounds, and above 20,000 Hz are classified as ultrasonic sounds. And if you go way beyond that point, you could see hypersonic sounds. Also, the notes can be found in the human spectrum. E0 has the frequency of 21 Hz. F0 has the frequency of 22 Hz. F#0 has the frequency of 23 Hz. G0 has the frequency of 25 Hz. G#0 has the frequency of 26 Hz. A0 has the frequency of 28 Hz. A#0 has the frequency of 29 Hz. B0 has the frequency of 31 Hz. C1 has the frequency of 33 Hz. C#1 has the frequency of 35 Hz. D1 has the frequency of 37 Hz. D#1 has the frequency of 39 Hz. E1 has the frequency of 41 Hz. F1 has the frequency of 44 Hz. F sharp 1 has the frequency of 46 Hz. G1 has the frequency of 49 Hz. G sharp 1 has the frequency of 52 Hz. A1 has the frequency of 55 Hz. A sharp 1 has the frequency of 58 Hz. B1 has the frequency of 62 Hz. C2 has the frequency of 65 Hz. C sharp 2 has the frequency of 69 Hz. D2 has the frequency of 73 Hz. D sharp 2 has the frequency of 78 Hz. E2 has the frequency of 82 Hz. F2 has the frequency of 87 Hz. F sharp 2 has the frequency of 93 Hz. G2 has the frequency of 98 Hz. G sharp 2 has the frequency of 104 Hz. A2 has the frequency of 110 Hz. A sharp 2 has the frequency of 117 Hz. B2 has the frequency of 123 Hz. C3 has the frequency of 131 Hz. C sharp 3 has the frequency of 139 Hz. D3 has the frequency of 147 Hz. D sharp 3 has the frequency of 156 Hz. E3 has the frequency of 165 Hz. F3 has the frequency of 175 Hz. F sharp 3 has the frequency of 185 Hz. G3 has the frequency of 196 Hz. G sharp 3 has the frequency of 208 Hz. A3 has the frequency of 220 Hz. A sharp 3 has the frequency of 233 Hz. B3 has the frequency of 247 Hz. C4 has the frequency of 262 Hz. C sharp 4 has the frequency of 277 Hz. D4 has the frequency of 294 Hz. D sharp 4 has the frequency of 311 Hz. E4 has the frequency of 330 Hz. F4 has the frequency of 349 Hz. F sharp 4 has the frequency of 370 Hz. G4 has the frequency of 392 Hz. G sharp 4 has the frequency of 415 Hz. A4 has the frequency of 440 Hz. A sharp 4 has the frequency of 466 Hz. B4 has the frequency of 494 Hz. C5 has the frequency of 523 Hz. C sharp 5 has the frequency of 554 Hz. D5 has the frequency of 587 Hz. D sharp 5 has the frequency of 622 Hz. E5 has the frequency of 659 Hz. F5 has the frequency of 698 Hz. F sharp 5 has the frequency of 740 Hz. G5 has the frequency of 784 Hz. G sharp 5 has the frequency of 831 Hz. A5 has the frequency of 880 Hz. A sharp 5 has the frequency of 932 Hz. B5 has the frequency of 988 Hz. C6 has the frequency of 1047 Hz. C sharp 6 has the frequency of 1109 Hz. D6 has the frequency of 1175 Hz. D sharp 6 has the frequency of 1245 Hz. E6 has the frequency of 1319 Hz. F6 has the frequency of 1397 Hz. F sharp 6 has the frequency of 1480 Hz. G6 has the frequency of 1568 Hz. G sharp 6 has the frequency of 1661 Hz. A6 has the frequency of 1760 Hz. A sharp 6 has the frequency of 1865 Hz. B6 has the frequency of 1976 Hz. C7 has the frequency of 2093 Hz. C sharp 7 has the frequency of 2217 Hz. D7 has the frequency of 2349 Hz. D sharp 7 has the frequency of 2489 Hz. E7 has the frequency of 2637 Hz. F7 has the frequency of 2794 Hz. F sharp 7 has the frequency of 2960 Hz. G7 has the frequency of 3136 Hz. G sharp 7 has the frequency of 3322 Hz. A7 has the frequency of 3520 Hz. A sharp 7 has the frequency of 3729 Hz. B7 has the frequency of 3951 Hz. C8 has the frequency of 4186 Hz. C sharp 8 has the frequency of 4435 Hz. D8 has the frequency of 4699 Hz. D-sharp 8 has the frequency of 4978 Hz. E8 has the frequency of 5274 Hz. F8 has the frequency of 5588 Hz. F-sharp 8 has the frequency of 5920 Hz. G8 has the frequency of 6272 Hz. G-sharp 8 has the frequency of 6645 Hz. A8 has the frequency of 7040 Hz. A-sharp 8 has the frequency of 7459 Hz. B8 has the frequency of 7902 Hz. C9 has the frequency of 8342 Hz. C-sharp 9 has the frequency of 8870 Hz. D9 has the frequency of 9397 Hz. D-sharp9 has the frequency of 9956 Hz. E9 has the frequency of 10548 Hz. F9 has the frequency of 11175 Hz. F-sharp9 has the frequency of 11840 Hz. G9 has the frequency of 12544 Hz. G-sharp9 has the frequency of 13290 Hz. A9 has the frequency of 14080 Hz. A-sharp9 has the frequency of 14917 Hz. B9 has the frequency of 15804 Hz. C10 has the frequency of 16744 Hz. C-sharp10 has the frequency of 17740 Hz. D10 has the frequency of 18795 Hz. D-sharp10 has the frequency of 19912 Hz. E10 has the frequency of 21096 Hz. In addition to this, not all animals can go even higher than 20,000 Hz and lower than 20 Hz. A turtle can hear from 20 Hz to 1000 Hz. A tuna fish can hear from 50 Hz to 1100 Hz. A chicken can hear from 125 Hz to 2000 Hz. A goldfish can hear from 20 Hz to 3000 Hz. A bullfrog can hear from 100 Hz to 3000 Hz. A catfish can hear from 50 Hz to 4000 Hz. A tree frog can hear from 50 Hz to 4000 Hz. A canary can hear from 250 Hz to 8000 Hz. A sparrow can hear from 250 Hz to 8000 Hz. A parakeet can hear from 200 Hz to 8500 Hz. An elephant can hear from 17 Hz to 10500 Hz. An owl can hear from 200 Hz to 12,000 Hz. A killer whale can hear from 800 Hz to 13,500 Hz. A hamon can hear from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. A chimpanzee can hear from 100 Hz to 20,000 Hz. A chinchilla can hear from 52 Hz to 33,000 Hz. A horse can hear from 55 Hz to 33,500 Hz. A cow can hear from 23 Hz to 35,000 Hz. A raccoon can hear from 100 Hz to 40,000 Hz. A sheep can hear from 125 Hz to 42,500 Hz. A dog can hear from 64 Hz to 44,000 Hz. A ferret can hear from 16 Hz to 44,000 Hz. A hedgehog can hear from 250 Hz to 45,000 Hz. A guinea pig can hear from 47 Hz to 49,000 Hz. A rabbit can hear from 96 Hz to 49,000 Hz. A sea lion can hear from 200 Hz to 50,000 Hz. A fur seal can hear from 800 Hz to 50,000 Hz. A gerbil can hear from 56 Hz to 60,000 Hz. A opossum can hear from 500 Hz to 64,000 Hz. An albino rat can hear from 390 Hz to 72,000 Hz. A hooded rat can hear from 530 Hz to 75,000 Hz. A rat can hear from 200 Hz to 76,000 Hz. A cat can hear from 55 Hz to 77,000 Hz. A mouse can hear from 900 Hz to 79,000 Hz. A mouse can hear from 1000 Hz to 91,000 Hz. A harbor porpoise can hear from 550 Hz to 105,000 Hz. A little brown bat can hear from 10,300 Hz to 115,000 Hz. A beluga whale can hear from 1000 Hz to 123,000 Hz. A bottlenose dolphin can hear from 150 Hz to 150,000 Hz. A porpoise can hear from 75 Hz to 150,000 Hz. A bat can hear from 10,000 Hz to as high as 200,000 Hz. A greater wax moth can hear from 10,000 Hz to as high as 300,000 Hz. If we go beyond the human spectrum, you can see microwaves, infrared waves, visible lights, ultraviolet waves, X-rays, gamma rays, and cosmic rays, and values like megahertz, gigahertz, terahertz, petahertz, exahertz, zettahertz, and yottahertz. Just to know that decahertz is equal to 10 Hz, hectahertz is equal to 100 Hz, kilohertz is equal to 1000 Hz, myriahertz is equal to 10,000 Hz, megahertz is equal to 1 million Hz, gigahertz is equal to 1 billion Hz, terahertz is equal to 1 trillion Hz, petahertz is equal to 1 quadrillion Hz. Exahertz is equal to 1 quintillion Hz, zettahertz is equal to 1 sextillion Hz, and yottahertz is equal to 1 septillion Hz. In addition, there are binary prefixes. Kilohertz is equal to 1024 Hz, megahertz is equal to 1,048,576 Hz, gigahertz is equal to 1,073,741,824 Hz, terahertz is equal to 1,099,511,627,776 Hz. Petahertz is equal to 1,125,899,906,842,624 Hz. Exahertz is equal to 1,152,921,504,606,846,976 Hz. Zettahertz is equal to 1,6,180,620,717,411,303,424 Hz. And a yottahertz is equal to 1,208,6,925,819. Quadrillion 614,629,174,706,176 Hz. Also, there is way smaller values than just in the human spectrum, like decihertz, centihertz, millihertz, myriahertz, microhertz, nanohertz, picohertz, femtohertz, attohertz, zeptahertz, and yottahertz. Remember that decihertz is equal to 1/10 of a hertz, centihertz is equal to 1/100th of a hertz, millihertz is equal to 1,000th of a hertz, myriahertz is equal to 10,000th of a hertz, microhertz is equal to 1 millionth of a hertz, nanohertz is equal to 1 billionth of a hertz, picohertz is equal to 1 trillionth of a hertz. Femtohertz is equal to 1 quadrillionth of a hertz, attohertz is equal to 1 quintillionth of a hertz, zeptahertz is equal to 1 sextillionth of a hertz, and yottahertz is equal to 1 septillionth of a hertz. That is all.
Okay, let's try again. Take 22. Alright, never mind cut. Why is the soccer ball here?
Whoops, sorry, I thought it is a goal. Is this a soccer game? 'Cause I like to play soccer.
Alright, I know you like soccer. But this is not a soccer game. Let's try again. Take 23. This time, never mind cut. Who threw the basketball?
I did.
Kevin G. Cupa?
Whoops. Sorry. I thought it was a basket. My basketball is orange with black lines.
Alright. You like basketballs, didn't you?
Yes. I like basketballs, and I have my basketball.
Okay, but wait. Isn't a basketball used to play basketball games?
Yep, and I kept playing basketball for years. Basketball is invented in December 21st, 1891 at Springfield, Massachusetts. UPoint's Canadian-American gym teacher James Naismith as the result of a challenge by Dr. Luther Halsey Gulick, the director of the Physical Education Department at the YMCA International Training School in Massachusetts. Gulick was looking for an indoor activity that would be interesting and easy to learn and play during the winter. Also, these are the rules published in January 1892 in the school newspaper where he instituted the game. The rules set out a game that is a non-contact sport played indoors. When I'm young, I got my basketball, and started to like basketball for my games, but I still played basketball for years, and I never hated basketball.
Wow, you did like basketball. Okay, let's try again. Take 24. Cut. Hi, is the stereo here?
So I can play rock music 'cause I like rock music. Hang on. Let me test it to see how it works.
Ouch, that hurt my ears. That's too loud.
Perfect.
That's too loud.
Sorry dude.
Oh, that hurt. But let's try again. Take 25. There's not even a Never mind, cut. Iggy Cupa, what are you doing here?
Oops, sorry, but it's almost the end of the video.
It's almost the end of the video? Oh wow. Alright, we've almost reached the end of the video, guys.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for it.
Guess what, everybody? We've finally made it to the end of the video. And you got it right this time.
Yeah. We're finally done. OF, a present. Let's see what it says. Dear Letters, I would like to see some more bloopers in episode number 7. Oh my gosh, we got more bloopers. Let's do this in another episode.
Alright, that's a wrap.